I am nominating Samantha for her compassionate care that she continues to give day in and day out to our patients on duty. In particular, she has been taking care of a patient who has been on our unit for a few months now. The patient has advanced dementia and has a complicated story, which has caused her to have a long-term stay with us on duty. She can be difficult and hard to handle at times, but Samantha has been extremely patient with her and has gone out of her way to make sure that she gets the very best of care. Samantha, along with a few other staff members on our unit, found out that the patient was going to be spending her birthday here in the hospital. She, along with the others, went out of their way to make sure that the patient would have a memorable birthday, and went out and purchased decorations, gifts, and a cake. The patient didn't have any belongings,
As far as I know,
so they went to make sure that she would have things that she needed for when she leaves us at the hospital, including underwear, socks, and clothes, just to name a few.
I think I could probably figure it out if I...
Samantha set all of this up and sat down with the patient to paint her nails when she got some free time. While doing this, Samantha took the time to explain to the patient what her situation was and why she had to stay with us for a little while longer. The patient would excitedly show off her nails and kept calling Samantha her little angel. The patient also told us that she had the best birthday of her life. I believe that Samantha, I'm the one overwhelmed. I believe that Samantha should be recognized for her continued compassion and empathy that she has with not just this patient, but all of our patients. She's an amazing nurse, and we are so thankful to have her with us on 2B. So hi, Samantha.
Hi.
So you just won the Daisy Award.
I did.
You did. Were you surprised?
I was very surprised. I was very surprised.
Why?
I thought my manager was asking me to come help with another task on the unit because it's first thing, and walked into a bunch of people.
All here to see you.
Yes.
So I'm not surprised that you won the Daisy Award. I mean, from what I know about you, I think, we could come up here probably and give you this award every day. Do you remember the patient?
I do.
That you were nominated for?
I do.
It sounds like she was memorable.
Yeah,
and probably a little hard.
She was. She was one of those patients that was in and out, and it was a situation where we needed guardianship. There was no family involved. And though she was difficult, for some of us, she grew on us.
Yeah.
And where my assignment was, I kind of kept having her on my group, and it's kind of one of those things like, all right, let's just go in, get to know her, and see if we can tame the beast a little bit. And she became probably one of my favorite patients of all time by the end of it. We were sad to see her leave eventually because she became,
part of it.
Family, yeah.
What do you think it was about what you did with her and for her, and how you were with her that was, because clearly it was impactful to her too. Just like you said, she was one of your favorites. I suspect if we asked her, she would say the same thing about you.
She ended up, her birthday was coming up, and unit-wide, everyone was like, oh, we have to get stuff. And several people got her cakes, goodies. Her room was filled with streamers. Everybody kind of did a piece. There's a group of us that put in towards getting her clothes. Two of the girls went shopping and put all that together. And then, like I said, over the course of this, as the cupcakes and everything sat, we started putting the outfits on her and getting her dressed, taking her out of the patient gown, painting her nails, making her feel kind of special and human because she hadn't had that. She had previously lived alone, and from listening to her story and multiple admissions, it seemed like it was like that for quite a while.
Yeah.
So we just kind of gave her like a spa day every now and again. Me and one of the aides, Colleen, would take the time and just kind of go through and make her feel human again and not just, like she was alone.
How did you, so I know you don't have time, so people noted that in there, and you said your family. How and why did you go out of your way to do all that for her? Because it wasn't simple. It wasn't like you had an extra hour where you said, hey, I think I'll just go in there for this hour and do this.
Right. This patient, it's COVID time, so everyone has the mask, but we had to kind of keep her in the doorway in the wheelchair, keep her engaged. And I would kind of structure my day and always try and set aside like 20 minutes toward the afternoon in the middle of like med passes to kind of be like, all right, let's go. We're doing our spa day. And it was to the point where she was looking forward to it. And when I wasn't there, she would be asking about it. So towards the end, it might have been a little bit of an issue because she's like, when am I going to go sit with the girls? Like it became a thing, but I don't know, we became friends, I guess, in a way.
How long was she here?
Oh my goodness. At least 2 months.
Yeah.
And there might even be a little bit extra on the end.
It sounds like certainly she had an impact on you, but I think you probably will never know the impact you had on her.
Yeah. She, when you asked her about her family, she tell these stories. She said I wasn't able to have kids and all these things. So we adopted her, but she kind of adopted us too.
I have a feeling that's true.
Yes.
Yeah. How, you mentioned, it's March and, it's been about a year now that we've been, in COVID and, dealing with all the things that have come along with that. How's this, you've been here, you told me 6 years?
Yes.
So not a brand new nurse, but not a relic, right? So, how would you characterize this year for you? How has the experience been from your perspective?
It's very stressful. I have a 1-year-old at home, so there's a lot of stress and guilt if I ever brought it home to him.
Yeah.
And then it's just, days it's frustrating because we perceive it different than the public, so
Yeah.
definitely hard.
How do you think you've gotten through this year?
My
so far?
coworkers,
Yeah.
100%.
In what way?
We're very, at least my unit, we're very team oriented. So like when Eileen pulled me out, I was giving meds for another nurse because, she was starting her day with a larger patient assignment. And it's things like that. If I'm drowning, I know someone will jump in. Michelle will give meds for me. Eileen will come out. What do you need? So that alone, because if I knew I was coming in my shift or like getting pulled to another unit, it's that apprehension like, okay, do they have my back?
Yeah.
On my unit, we always have each other's back. So it was knowing that, days where we have like a lot of patient deaths or just a lot going on or the unit's heavy, I know someone will always be there. And we kind of say we're all good together, we all drown together. So it definitely helps knowing that who I'm working with is always going to help me.
Yeah, you guys have been extraordinary this year, and I think, it's interesting because what you're describing, I think, is really what everyone has described, because it's unimaginable, right, what everyone has had to deal with, and, the only way really to be able to get your head around that is to really know that you're in it together and that people will support you.
Yeah.
And I think clearly, your coworkers are saying that you are, not only one of the team, but, somebody that they really admire and look toward. So, thanks for everything you've done this year,
Thank
obviously,
you.
and the last 6 years and the next 6 years. And,
Yeah.
certainly for this patient, but for all your patients, because it matters and what you're doing is really, it's really impacting certainly our community, like you said, but really, down to each individual that you take care of. So on behalf of all of them, and certainly on behalf of myself, just thank you.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you.
Thank you.